Here they come. Mm. Hello, all coming in from all over the world. We'll see who's here. Hello, hello. Hi, Bethany. Thanks for saying hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Ami, and you're coming in from everywhere. And it's wonderful to see you. Cheryl is walking outside. And now she's smiling. If you want to use while we get started, you can already use the chat to maybe say your name and where you are in the world. It'd be wonderful to see where everyone is coming from as you all come in. We're going to wait a couple of minutes to sort of really start, but I can go in the chat and I can see that people are saying that they are from Seattle. Oh my God, 2 in a row from Seattle. Okay, Medellín, Colombia. Buenas tardes. So, wow. Okay. You guys are everywhere. LA, Nigeria, Egypt, Rwanda, Argentina. Buenas tardes, Guatemala. Okay, thank you. So more people are coming in. We'll get started in a second. Thank you for being here. It's interesting. So hello, it's been sort of a day. I'm Ami, and I'm just watching. I'm watching your faces and your names. We had another one of these in the morning today at 10 a.m. New York time, which means just to put everyone in the same on the same page. We had one 6 hours ago, and it's fascinating watching your faces and seeing how the time difference has changed who's here. Right. So, for example, in the morning at 10 a.m. this morning, it was maybe 6 p.m. in Kenya, but now it's already midnight in Kenya, so there are fewer Kenyans, etc. So it's just interesting to see how everything changed based on the time zone around the world. But hello, everyone. You can hear me okay? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I know it's a bit strange to be in a Zoom meeting with a whole bunch of people you've never met, which I think is most Zoom meetings, as opposed to webinars, are with people we know, right? But I don't like the webinar thing when you can only see the speaker and you can't see anybody else. And so even though I'll be talking for a bit and then we'll open up the questions, you can at least see each other and we can see at least some faces, maybe some smiles, and that makes a big difference, I hope. At the bottom of your screen, you have a chat that some of you are using to say where you are. On the right side, you also have a thing that says Q&A, I hope, question mark and Q&A. We'll be using that one for questions later, okay? Because otherwise the questions will get lost in the chat. So when we come to questions or at any point, please use the Q&A one for questions, okay? I hope that makes sense. One last thing about the chat, you're going to see in a bit that one of the most immediate challenges that we have is to find a way to group people locally. So people in Nairobi should be able to very quickly now meet others where you are, or people in Seattle should be able to congregate with those. Don't try too hard to use the chat today for that. Like, don't try too hard to say, my WhatsApp is this or my LinkedIn is this, just find me. You can do it if you want, but it's not really the most useful thing. Over the next week or two, we're going to find a way to set up local groups using all kinds of tools, and anyone that wants to find anyone will be able to do so. You don't have to use a chat today for that unless you really want to. Okay, so that's that piece. We're going to go for an hour. If you need to leave before, please feel free to, but we're not going to go over the hour. So I hope that's helpful. And then what's going to happen today is I'll talk for a bit just to get us on the same page. I want to share my screen for a few minutes and go through just a few slides, and then we're going to come back and then we'll open up for questions and conversation and anything that people want to add to this. Sounds like a deal? You can hear me? Okay. And forgive, you're all muted right now because there's sometimes noise outside and cars and things, and so we just muted all of you, and then we'll open this up just to prevent noise from coming in, okay? So, again, I'm Ami. You guys all got an email from me. Some of you, I hope all of you read the email. Some of you watched the video. You have a sense of what we're trying to do here. This morning I was nervous. Now I'm a little bit less nervous because the morning went well. I've been waiting for to meet you forever. You've been out there in the world, and I've been waiting to meet you for a long time. So thank you for being here. And I love this magic of technology that we can be around the world and watch each other like this. I'm old, so I'm still sort of amazed by the fact that we can do this. To be just on the same page for 1 second, even though I think, again, you all read that email, and again, some of you sort of watched the thing. We're doing this. We at Idealist believe, and I believe my whole life, that the world could and should be better, street by street, community by community, and the world as a whole. I think that all of us can do more every day, and I think most of us sort of know this and feel this. And there are many ways to try to do that. One way that we're proposing to start is by once a month, as we said, on these days that work around the world, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. We sort of saw those days one day a few years ago and realized, hey, nobody has taken that. We might as well take it and use it for this. And the idea that if once a month we can all, do at least one good thing at the same time, that will lead to many more things. This is not the end of the idea. That's just like one way of building something even bigger. One way of thinking about this is that if you think of a body, of a person's body sort of wearing clothes, I think of these monthly days as like vertebrae in the backbone. You build a backbone, you put a skeleton, you put the whole body, then you dress it. But we start with these monthly, and then we build from there. That's going to lead to local groups. It's going to lead to many things. What can we do between those days? Lead to a whole ecosystem of action and ideas and imagining what we can all do together. So that's the basic idea behind this. We sent out this email to you to sort of begin this process. We asked, the subject line said 1,000 people, 7,500 have already answered that call. I think there'll be more, but it's a very good start. We're going to be communicating just a couple of sort of quick logistical things, if you like. We'll be using the web. An Idealist will be emailing you as often as you can take it, as often as you like. We'll be using Zoom. We will be using social media in a variety of ways. Different people are using different things. Some of you have already found me on LinkedIn. We'll use Facebook. We'll use WhatsApp. We'll use anything and everything, Slack, whatever we can. Some things make sense globally. Some things make sense locally. We will use whatever it is that everyone wants to use in their lives now to keep in touch. And I do want to say sort of one thing about before we jump in about a couple of things that we, Idealist or me, Ami, simply cannot do. I know that some of you would like to find a better job than now. I'd love to be able to hire all of you. I can't. We can't. Idealist, it's a big idea, but we're not a big organization. We can't hire everyone. The jobs that we know about are those that are Idealist. I don't really know of any other. I don't have any secret jobs that I know of. Some people have asked, for a visa to come to the US. I can't arrange that. I would love for everyone to travel everywhere. I simply cannot do that. And we also can't send people money. We can't fund people. I mean, we simply are not in a position to basically fund people or projects. And so I guess I'm asking you not to ask me for a visa, a job, or money, because I just can't do it. I'd love to be able to do it for all of you. I just can't. So just to be sort of clear on what we can and can't do. I hope that makes sense and doesn't disappoint anyone too much. Okay. So let me see if we could just like jump right in. Yeah, so we've been playing with this idea for a long time of, what can we all do together? What can we agree on, which is what I said in that video. And I think that we can agree certainly on certain big values. That's why I think some of you are here. Dignity, freedom, respect, generosity, joy, peace, all of those, kindness that I think are pretty global. We can agree that at least once a month, we'll do something awesome to make those things into action. We can agree to celebrate each other as we go. So we've been experimenting that for a while. We started before COVID, then COVID stopped us, then we came back. And then we started thinking, in a big way, not just in small experiments, what's the best way to start this, like in a bigger way? And that's how we landed on this 5-5 idea. And if I speak too quickly, just slow me down with your hands. Why 5-5? For two sort of reasons. One, or why 3 months away or 4 months away, 3 months away now? One is that just to take some time to plan, to talk about this, to recruit people. We realized last year we're trying to do this locally a little bit in New York. And we realized that if you're constantly focused on the next one, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, you're always like 2 or 3 weeks away from one. And to get something going that's bigger, it's just hard to do if you're always 2 or 3 weeks away from something. So we said, great, let's get organized and do something, 3 months out. That's even more true for organizations, institutions, businesses. They need time to make a decision. Oh yeah, let me talk to my boss. I'll get back to you. We'll decide if we want to get involved and how. So just to take a couple of months to sort of do it right, and to set up systems, like systems to allow all of us to meet each other where we are and just do it right. So that was one decision to do, to take a date that was just, 3 months out, not crazy, not a year out, but at least a couple of months out. That was one. And then we thought with a bunch of people, not alone, is there one thing that we can do, that we can propose? Because of course anyone can do anything, but if someone doesn't know what to do or where to start, it'd be useful to sort of have like one thing to at least start from. And it's a long story, but at first I thought, what if we all saw the sunrise together? And I realized, the sunrise can be dark, can be dangerous, it can be cold, it can be really early. So that led us to this idea of breakfast. And then we expanded breakfast to basically mean, yes, we're going to call it a global community breakfast on 5/5. But in fact, it's a 24-hour restaurant. Anyone can come in whenever they want. If the early morning doesn't work, come have dinner with us. It is fine. It'll go 24 hours. But the idea that basically all over the world, we start our day somehow with tea, with coffee, somehow something. And so why not do that together? And then really thought about the idea that, everyone should be able to participate. So we're defining as everyone is welcome and everything counts, meaning there's a woman right now in Nigeria, in Lagos University there, that wants to organize a big picnic that day. And if she can bring 1,000 people to that picnic, fantastic. If another person simply wants to post a photo of their hand with a cup of coffee and join us that way, that's fine too. The whole range from a big picnic to simply sharing a photo. Okay, so let me share my screen for a second, because then we felt really there's no obstacle. If you define it that way, anyone in the world with a phone or a computer or internet connection can participate, right? Basically, you live in a repressive regime, put up your hand with the coffee and take a photo. You anonymously. You want to do something big, etc. But I'm going to share my screen for a second, and we will go more deeply into this. I hope I am making sense. By the way, we have 188 people here right now, just for everyone's thing. Let me see if I can successfully share this. Am I sharing this? Yes, I am. Let me go back to the meeting. I'm seeing you, and now let me go there. Okay, you're seeing the thing that says, let's imagine 5/5. Okay, I'm going to take you through it for a moment. It'll take a few minutes, and then we'll stop for questions, conversation, wherever we want to go. Okay, so if I'm going again too quickly, just stop me. The piece about 5/5, like I said earlier, or 2 minutes ago, we want to find something that would work everywhere, that would both strengthen, nurture, build local connection. In some parts of the world, and it's interesting sort of seeing all of you here, in some parts of the world, people don't know their neighbors. In other parts of the world, and I'm looking at some of you, it's like, what do you mean you don't know your neighbors? How is that even possible to not know your neighbors, right? And so we're working across the whole cultural spectrum all over the world. But for some people, the idea of strengthening local connection is really important right now in many places. We're being separated by technology, by all these things that you all know. At the same time, how can we, while we do that, also see and show and celebrate our shared humanity, right? That we're being divided in so many ways. It'd be lovely to see how much we have in common, even just starting from some food in the morning. And then to have something that's easy to do, and also, I think, beautiful to sort of see it, to see photos, to see videos, to see each other in that way. So that's how we came up with this idea. So we called it the Global Community Breakfast on 5/5. This is an event on a site called sorry, we're using a site called Luma that is actually pretty good for events. They're free, and I'll tell you more about them later. Some of you went to this page that you link to after you fill out the form. About I can see 3,600 people have sort of signed up for this event. The idea here was to have like one page to just show that we are actually interested, It's not one event. This event, in a sense, will not happen this way. We're going to now break this up into local things, but this is one place. If you want to join us there, because then you get emails from there as well, my colleague Matthew will share the link. It's luma.com/idealistday55. So we put this out there. Again, this photo, just to show that anything is welcome. I think it's okay to share. This is my two daughters, my wife, and my mother-in-law in Spain last summer. Again, showing that anything is welcome. And like we said, everything from that to in New York that morning, we will go and cross the Brooklyn Bridge at sunrise, simply because when we came up with this idea a month or two ago, my colleague here, Matthew Chavez, who can raise his hand, we thought, hey, if we're going to ask people around the world to do something, what are we going to do? So I said, I've been wanting to forever. I want to cross the Brooklyn Bridge at sunrise. Let's do that. So we put this up there. We haven't really promoted it yet, and already a couple hundred people have signed up. So it's an example of, we can cross a bridge with several hundred people, or you can have a photo of a few hands with a cup of coffee, and both count. And it can also be later in the day, and that's totally fine. Now, what I want to do is, in a few minutes, without going into too much depth, when we started thinking about this, we thought, okay, breakfast, but also breakfast or breakfast plus whatever anyone wants to add to it. It can be very simple. It can be as complex and as big and as rich as you like. And there's no good or bad. Everything is welcome. So I want to share just a few ideas with you. And hopefully one of those at least feels like, oh, I could do this. Or these ideas make you think of one more that you would like to do. And then later, maybe when I'm done, go into the chat and say which of those would feel good to you to do wherever you are, just as a way of saying, hey, yes, that makes sense to me. So a few quick ideas. As I said, in some cases, just having an excuse to knock on a neighbor's door and say, hey, we've never met. How about you actually come out for some coffee or whatever it is that we eat where we are, and let's actually get to know each other for the first time, or invite neighbors that have been for a while and do something with them. The second one, professional colleagues. Of course, some of us meet once in a while with people in our profession in some way. There are monthly gatherings of, XYZ. In many, many places, there's actually no, people think, oh, in my city, the people who do this should actually meet. We've never met. Well, here's an excuse. Use this excuse to call people and say, hey, maybe for the first time, the X people in our city that do this thing that we all do, we should finally actually meet each other. You can invite a speaker. This is true about any event. Someone can speak or not. And again, I'm going to go through like a series of examples. Use that day, use that excuse to start something you've been wanting to start for a long time, a local neighborhood association or a giving circle. People get together, put some money and give it to a cause together. Sometimes we all live in institutions, in organizations, in places where there's someone who should have been thanked in a big way a long time ago, right? Someone who basically keeps the place going. And it'd be lovely if that day we just thanked and celebrated that person who we should have been celebrating for a long time ago. So you can do that. Different kind of thing entirely. If you run an organization, a nonprofit, an NGO, tell the world that day they can come to your nonprofit and see what you do. So basically have an open house. Different kind of thing for different kind of personality. Go out to the street, put out a table with some coffee, talk to people, tell them what we're doing, invite them to get involved in the community, etc. Some people like simply putting, little posts on the walls, a great group brainstorming with neighbors at work. What can we do together? Maybe plan a bigger community project, etc. Now we switch to a different kind of thing where, some organize a group and go for a walk or take a hike or go out on bicycles, whatever it is. And then, of course, eat or drink after. Again, this is just a way of showing that there's so many ways that breakfast can just mean for people, right? You can dance together, meditate, do yoga outside, inside. Visit a senior center where older people live together and bring them food and have breakfast with them, or simply have them host you for breakfast. The same thing can be with the school. You can talk to the kids, tell the teachers, can I come talk to the kids that day about what we're doing in the world? Go and serve somewhere in a shelter, etc. And again, this kind of thing, a cleanup, a river is dirty, a beach, a street, let's go clean it up, show photos, invite people and do things. And then lastly, Along these lines, also, you can paint something, plant a tree. Someone wrote me yesterday from Nigeria that he wants to gather all the people in his town and get some treelings and go out to where the Sahara is invading their town and try to stop it with trees, play a game, just have some fun, raise money for an organization. And then lastly here, if that day we get together, wherever we are, and we can just help one person that wants to do one thing and hasn't done it yet, and they can move from intention to action, we will have done an amazing thing. And then please take a photo so we can share. So the idea here is that basically people everywhere are doing at least one thing. And if I'm done with this list. And so if you want to go into the chat and sort of say which of these, if any, sort of immediately, drew your eye, or if there's another one that you would like to do, go for it. We can also talk about this later. But the idea basically is that if each of us can find one easy, simple, moving, exciting thing to do and just do that one thing, the whole collage, the whole mosaic will be amazing together. And we can get many, many, many more people involved where we are. We'll ask people, no matter what they do and what kind of event they organize, we'll ask or suggest that people do 3 things, no matter what. They're fairly obvious, I think. The first one is to, if you're hosting something, or if you're participating, make sure that everyone there just knows what is going on, right? Knows that this is part of something bigger. So if you invite your neighbors to have, to meet them, and 5 neighbors show up and you said hello, please tell them that this is happening around the world. Don't, it was very nice to meet you. So please tell people what is going on in general. That's one. At the end, it'd be great to just report back in some way. We'll give people a way to do that so that we all know what happened. In the middle, it'd be nice to stop for a second, take a photo, a group photo or not, and then share on social media and invite people to join us on 6/6, right? We're going to do this again, 6/6, 7/7, we'll keep going. So stop for a second, share it, and then do more. So that's the end of this micro presentation, which I'll stop sharing for a second. It was easier to, let me come back here. It was easier to put that on the screen than try to go through a list of 20 things. I am back with you. So a couple more things, and then I'll be quiet. Did that make sense? I mean, am I making sense? I'm like, this morning I was like all hyped up, and now I'm like more subdued. You guys are with me? Yes, I hope so. Well, you're stuck, and people seem to still be here. We're 193 people now. So where are we now, and what is happening right now? On Thursday and Friday of last week, we had done some test emails before. Thursday and Friday, we emailed pretty much most of you. You're here now. We're doing 7 of these this week to make sure we're sort of on the same page. And then we will start connecting in other ways too, Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, etc. The biggest single challenge that we have right now, and we will solve it next week or 2, is what I said earlier about this local congregation piece, right? So for example, there's a man here called John Ware from Baltimore. John, can you raise your hand and show your handsome face? This is John from Baltimore. And there are other people in Baltimore who may or may not want to meet John. I don't know, but John seems to be a nice guy. So people may want to get together where they are. And so this challenge of, we have lots of people in Nairobi, lots of people in Dhaka, lots of people in Johannesburg. How do you all find each other? And it's not an easy challenge. We can't just take all of your emails and just give them to all of you. We can't do that. It'd be lovely, but we can't without all of your permission. So that's not possible. So over the next week or 2, we're going to set up local groups using either Luma events or other ways, and we'll invite you to meet each other if you want. Of course, no one has to do anything here, but if you would like to meet each other and begin planning, virtual, online, or physical meetups to get together where you are, maybe 3 people want to work on a bigger thing together, maybe, etc. Right? So, for example, if you have a beautiful bridge in your city, probably should not have 6 people planning independently to walk across that bridge, right? It'd be nice to actually plan together as a bad or a good example. So getting together is important. We're thinking of the next 3 months as 3 very simple stages. This February is this issue of getting together and also being clear on what we're doing. One thing which I'll say now, and then I'll probably repeat again, is that for this to succeed, it's really important to focus. And I mean that in the best way, not like you tell someone, you should focus. More that for this to work, we are here from pretty much, I think there's already 140 countries that have signed up. Every religion, lots of different political ideologies. And we're here because we believe in some fundamental things together. For this to work, we have to agree that on that, we're starting by, on 5-5, doing something around the world at the same time that has to sort of do with breakfast, but not really. And we're doing that one thing. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're doing. If we get dispersed, if we start arguing about all kinds of things, nothing will happen. So we need to try to focus. I was thinking this morning on the way here, I know it's a sort of simple example, but I was thinking that it's almost like if we agree that we're going to build a table together, right? Just a table. So we're going to build a table, not a chair, not a bed. We're going to build a table. It's flat on top. It has probably 4 legs. And we can, but we're going to build a table. And once we know that, then we can do many, many things. If we agree that we're going to start this thing by basically leading up to this, but on 5-5, this is what we're doing, and we can sort of focus and help each other do, enrich these ideas, get together, have a bigger menu of things to do, then I think we're in a really good place. So in February, we'd like to be really clear what we're doing. We'll set up, an FAQ of questions with answers that all of you can ask, and we can try to answer together. So that's to be clear. And then I'm going to ask you now, and again, later, I'll ask you to please do 2 things if you can. One is to imagine yourself on 5-5 on May 5th. What would you like to do? And it can be alone, it can be with somebody else, it can be hosting something, organizing something, participating in something, but pick one thing at least, and then try to sort of make it happen in whatever way you can, that you like, and that you can imagine doing without too much difficulty, or if you want to push yourselves to do something bigger, go for it. So one thing is to imagine yourself doing one thing at least that adds a piece to this puzzle. And the second one, more personal, is if you can think of 1 or 2 or 3 friends that you like, that you love, and that would welcome being invited to join us in this. And so it's not so much, go and tell everyone you know. It's literally think of 1 or 2 or 3 people you know that would love to be invited to join this, and then think of inviting them to come with us because they would welcome and they would thank you for inviting them to be with us. Okay, so those 2 things. And so again, challenge is to overcome, and we'll be in touch as we do this, is to congregate locally. Then in March, we can start thinking about what we'd like to do. And in April, we can promote everything together as we're doing it. We're going to use this tool, Luma. Again, Matthew can link to luma.com/idealist. It's just this calendar where we're going to be able to see every event in the world on a map, on a list, searchable, that anyone posts. You'll be able to add that to that calendar. And then that way, everyone can find everything. And by promoting that one calendar and telling people everywhere, we will all be promoting all of each other's events, right? So if you're doing something in Ukraine, you're doing something in Namibia, we all tell everyone, and we're all promoting the whole thing together across social media, across friends, by telling each other, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope I'm making some sense. I'm feeling myself being a little bit more tired in the morning than in the morning. And so I'm no longer sure exactly what I'm saying, but hopefully I'm making some sense. Oh yeah, hello. Oh my God. Sorry, I just spotted someone I know, Olya Ganina, who is from Belarus, but is living in Spain. And she has a guitar behind her because she's in Spain. Sorry, my wife's from Spain. Anyway, so let me go to the Q&A for a second, because I know we're going to do that. Let me look for a second quickly there and see some quick questions there, and then we can also open it up to more conversation. Yes, so someone says, Liza says, can we group by interest rather than, or in addition to geographic location? Yes, we're going to try to group each other in all different ways that we can, interest and also geography. So sometimes the two will cross and there's no reason why not. We'll try to solve these problems together. There are people here who have done amazing things in different places, and we can all, find ways to do this together, but that's a really important thing. This is my first volunteer role since moving in the US. The rejection. Okay, sorry, this is like a bigger thing of what makes organizations. I'll come back to this in a second. Yes, so what will Idealist be providing? What Idealist can provide, and again, I said, there's many of you, and there's only sort of one organization here. What we'll provide will be A, gathering many people and bringing us together. B, a place with, recipes for action, ideas, things to do. A centralized calendar where everyone can see everything. The ability to find each other by local group and or by interest. So connection, finding each other, tips, etc. We can't provide like a specific speaker. That's up to you. We can't, talk to your local mayor. We can't ask for your local park permits. That has to happen locally. We cannot do that for you. I hope that makes sense. Will there be marketing material? Yes, absolutely. So not only during 5.5, but basically very, very soon now, there's already, logos on the page and we can do more. One thing we need to do together over next month is basically create all the things that we may need. I would love to see different kinds of posts, or different kinds of videos, talking points, anything that could help you convince anyone to do something. In some cases, you won't need much. You'll just post an event, share it with people online, and they will join you. In some cases, you may need to want to have a poster in your building or university or things like that. So we're going to do that together. Let's see. Do we have a long-term goal of this initiative? Yes, I want a much better world for my daughters. The long-term goal here is that I think that, let me try to find the best way of saying it. You know how in every city in the world, what makes a city is that there are all these layers that we have built over time, right? So the city starts with houses and streets, and then we add pavement and we add electricity in many places, and we add, restaurants, and we add schools, and we add a house of worship. And then in the last few years, we add, Wi-Fi, and we add, the internet, and there are all these layers, right? With very few exceptions. So, if you come to a city, you expect to see cars. And you don't even notice them because cities have cars, except for Venice, which makes Venice weird. But if you come to a city, you expect to see, cars and electricity and schools and hospitals. So I think that all over the world, we have a missing layer right now of civic connection. I think that any two people in the world living near each other or far from each other should be able to say, if two people are living near each other in the same building or in the same street, you should be able to easily find a way to know that that person also wants to do something nice with you. It should be easy to connect for good. We should all have access to all the wonderful ideas that are working around the world. So the end goal here is a whole ecosystem of action that allows us to very easily respond to what's happening around us, to find all the people around us that want to do something about a problem. And it's endless, right? The problems will always be there for us, but I think we can add a whole layer of community, of action, of imagination. And so this is the beginning of that. And I think we can drive to that together. I hope that was more or less clear. If you're interested, I'm going to ask again, Matthew, to share a link with you, which I can also send you later. Idealist.org/1, the number one, and the letter Q. It stands for one question. Idealist.org/1Q. It's a presentation that would take you about 10 minutes to read. The video that some of you saw came from that, but that's a more detailed presentation that really answers the question of what we'd like to create here long-term. Why, what, how, and what's the end goal of all this? It can take you about 10 minutes to read. It's ideas.org/1Q. You can take a look later and answer that question if you want. Are we using maps to connect locally? So yes, and so the use of the map, there'll be events on the map. We ourselves are not each of us on a map, but I think there's much more we can do with that. We're going to figure out every possible way to connect that respects your privacy, okay, which is really, really important for us here. So how do you help people find each other while deeply protecting everyone's privacy and only, exposing yourself to people that want to reach out with you if you want. That's really, really important. So let's see. Luma does not have a forum. That's the one thing I don't have, which is why we need to sort of find a way to do that. Is the final outcome is a global community supporting efforts to improve their community? That's a wonderful way of putting it. Yes, a global community supporting local and global efforts to make the world better. We're going to create Telegram groups. We're going to create any group you possibly can. Ideas.org/1Q is not an active link, says Alicia. Alicia, can you try www.ideas.org? And maybe the Q has to be capitalized, although I don't think so. But maybe the www is missing, and that will help. But yes, 1Q should work, but you'll see it. In any case, that's, I think, what I wanted to say today. Let me see if there are any other questions. You have all been very patient listening to me. I'm going to use the word patient one more time. We're just getting started. It's only Tuesday, and we only emailed you on Thursday and Friday. We will work on this as quickly as we can, and we'll ask for your help. And at the same time, we'll ask you to be a little bit patient with us as we go, just a tiny bit. You want to meet your people in your city tomorrow. It might take a week. Let's do this together. And also that we're trying to build something that lasts here. I think all of us have been involved in many movements, communities, especially those that come online and that then sort of disappear and fall. How do we really methodically build something here that lasts, that we can, look back 5 years, 10 years from now and say, we built this thing? I'll add just two quick things on that. One is that if we want to do this thing monthly, if every month we'd love to do something cool together, at least, if not more than that. One really important thing, I think, is that it should also be fun. Very often, it can't just be, oh, the world is terrible, we're all so sad, and let's get together and, cry together. We also have to have fun. There has to be a side of this that is just pleasurable, that is fun, that people want to participate. If we want this to last month to month, it has to be a thing that people look forward to. It can't be something that people dread. Oh my God, that other month is coming. Everyone's going to ask me to do something. Where can I hide? No. That's not good. It has to be, that day of the month is coming. Amazing things will happen. And where do I find those things, right? And so that involves adding pieces to this that are not directly related to fixing a problem. Crossing the Brooklyn Bridge is not going to fix anything, but it's going to make us all feel good that morning. We'll get some hugs, we'll get some smiles. People start their day feeling better. And that also has value. In fact, that has a lot of value. And so I think that doing things that improve people's lives is important. Doing things that are just fun to do. I would love to one day at 3 a.m, take a bicycle and ride around New York with other people just because. Why not, right? And there are many things like that we can do because they are fun to do. Magic for kids in the hospital. I mean, making people laugh. It's important to just add an element of whimsy to this. Otherwise, we will all be bored and stop. So that's one thing. And second is just help each other, encourage each other, and keep going. Let me see if there are other questions. Never mind. Yes, capital Q. Sorry, I lost my cursor here. Let me bring it back if I can. I'm not used to using two screens. Sorry, I can't go down. I'm sorry. I lost my cursor. 1 second. Where is it? I am like an old person. And I mean that in the best way. I'm saying about myself. I don't know. Do you think you can access other countries like Kenya? So one thing I'll say about Kenya and Nigeria, by the way, these are the two most, the two countries that have responded the strongest so far have been Kenya and Nigeria. And, we have Mozambique, Tanzania. I'm still trying desperately to find my cursor and feeling dumb that I can't. Okay, I got it. Okay, no, there's no other question. That was the last question. Never mind with the queue. So are we okay? Are we more or less okay? Are people, did I say too much too quickly? Are we clear about where we're going? We will keep doing this. There are 5 more meetings just this week. We'll then move into trying to update you at least once a day on Zoom. If people want, these are going to be recorded so they can hear anytime. We'll set up a schedule. I was trying to sort of make a schedule yesterday in my head of doing something like this once a day at different hours of the day during the week, so that at least one day a week you can find us live anywhere in the world in the time zone that is good for you. So once in the morning here, noon, evening, so that anywhere in the world you can join live at least once a week. I think that'll be fun. And of course, you can watch or listen to recordings. There'll be emails, there'll be stuff online. You'll talk to each other. We'll send you stuff on Facebook, on LinkedIn, whatever you want. And then if you say enough, we'll stop. But I think it'd be fun to be, updating each other and sharing. And then I think one last thing that somebody asked earlier and hasn't been asked now is, what do we want? What is the task to do here? Well, any task that helps build community and that helps build a movement. So anything from telling one friend to organizing, a big event as big as you want it to be. Meeting with other people and deciding, hey, how do we reach our mayor? How do we reach the media where we are? How do we invite other people to participate? Someone asked earlier, I don't know, this hasn't come up here. It's really interesting. Whether you get a volunteer certificate for this in some way, for school or for work. We don't have anything formal, but feel free to, on your resume, write whatever you want. We're not going to check. So, write that you sort of help make this happen. On LinkedIn, those of you who are on LinkedIn, you can add to your professional experience. You can say you got this new position as a volunteer of Idealist, for example, and LinkedIn likes that. So that's another way of promoting yourself and of promoting what we're doing. So feel free to do any of that. So I think we have many people here. We want to stay focused. I do want to open up the mic. If people want to sort of say hello, I'm going to ask you, there's lots of people here. So if you have, a comment, a question, just telling us how you're feeling in this moment, but try to keep it somewhat brief because we have many people, and just, focus on what we're doing. And so, yeah, let's hear some voices, and hopefully we're more or less clear. And as we finish, as we go through the week and finish these 7 calls, we'll do a summary for everyone and next steps. And the focus next week entirely is on this thing of getting together locally and sort of solving that problem. If we can do that, everything else will be much easier, and we'll go from there. So if you want to say hello, Matthew will open your mic if you raise your hand. If you want to use Zoom to raise your hand, that way he'll see you. There's a little hand thing at the bottom that you can sort of raise there. Say hello. I know that John in Baltimore has a very nice voice. Maybe John wants to say something. I don't know. Now he's laughing. John, you want to say anything? You want to start us off?
Also, if your video is off, we won't see you. So turn your video on if you raise your hand so that I'll make him call on you.
Or Matthew? Wow, no one wants to volunteer this time. We have 170 shy people. Oh my God. No. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if we see you. Can you tell us how you pronounce your name? I can't really see you. Happy. There's something behind you, the light, but go ahead. I don't know if Matthew, you can turn the mic. I think you can speak now. Go for it. We can't hear you.
You're unmuted, but we can't hear you for whatever reason. It could be a mic
You're
issue.
muted. Maybe while you try to figure it out, let's go to Sunil and then Nico.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, happy to be here. Not too familiar, but this seems just like a nice way to contribute or to be a part of something bigger than yourself. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Who was that? I didn't even see who that was. Nico, Sunil, I don't know. Matthew, up to you.
Hi, I'm Nico. Also really excited. I had a quick question, and that was if we're reaching out to other people, the link that we share, is it supposed to be the one on Luma with the calendar, or is it the one that we signed up with that was a registration form? Um, just making sure I'm sharing the right thing with them.
Give me a day. So give us a day and we'll say neither, so that you can actually simply share idealist.org and they'll
Okay.
find those things there.
Okay, great.
And we'll let you know in a couple of days. Thanks, Nico. Amparo Vasquez. Oh, there she is.
Hi, Amy. I just wanted to thank you. This is very exciting. This is very much something that I've been wanting for a long time. I've been very concerned as I've been seeing the extreme disconnection. It's been very obvious for the past decade, and most especially to the last 5 years. So I've been very concerned about humanity long before this period of time. So thank you very, very, very much for organizing us. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you. Sunil, can you make it now? Can you try?
I think he was speaking earlier, but maybe
Oh,
it's
he was
frozen
speaking earlier. Now he's frozen. Bethany? 1 second. You're going to get the mic in a sec. There you go.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm really excited. I have a question about putting this on your LinkedIn as a volunteer. Can you go into a little bit what I should put on there?
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, basically that you're volunteering with Idealist. I can send you an example. Someone did this today, essentially, that you're volunteering with Idealist to help organize your community. Really, whatever you feel that you want to do, which is to help organize and connect your community for good. And that you're doing that. And so just go for it if you want. There's no no one will judge you. So
Okay, I just want to do things right.
thank you so much for asking, Bethany. Thank you all. And I'm looking at your faces. Are people okay? Yeah, I don't know. It's so many different hours. Pete Buccellato. Sorry, you're still muted.
And you pronounced it correctly too. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks very much for putting together this in the invite. I'm really looking forward to this. That's all I really have to say.
Thank you so much. It's just good to hear some voices. I'm sick of my own voice. Meshach and then Lindsay. Meshach, is that how you pronounce your name? I don't know. Lindsay, maybe? I don't know, Matthew. I know it's a little bit awkward because there's just many of us, but it's good to hear some voices. And then we'll
You
take
should be able to hear Meshach now.
Yes, Meshach, you can speak now if you want. Can you hear us? Can you speak? Not sure if he's frozen. Okay.
Seems like your mic isn't working.
Okay, we'll go to Lindsay for now and Lynn, and then maybe we'll stop for a second.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Edward, and I just wanted to say thank you. And I'm from the United States, I'm from Alabama. Well, actually from California. But I love this idea, and I'm excited to reach out more. I started in college just with a paper. Our theme for the semester was community change, and it just got me so much more involved in having a heart for attempting to change things for better. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. And Lynn, maybe we'll close with you, and then there's a couple more things that we'll do, and then we'll say good afternoon, good night, good morning to all of you. I don't know.
I think
Wherever
we're
you
going
are.
to try Meshach again because I think
Okay.
I heard their mic come on. Is that right?
All right. Good time, everyone.
There you are.
I'm Meshach Odare from Kenya.
Hi, Meshach. It's late there.
And yeah. Are you able to hear me now? I'm Meshach Odare from Kenya. Thank you. And I'm so grateful for this beautiful moment. Especially, we all know that the world is one, and we are all one, for we come from the same pier. And the initiative is so good. Applause to it. But I'm still remaining with the question. As we may be having the breakfast, the picnic, or the riding of bicycles, or maybe meeting schools on a 5-5, what should be the message that we are carrying home? What are we intending to achieve? What should we be carrying to the masses, please? I would love to know that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thanks for being with us. I know it's late there, Meshach. And I think what we're trying to basically say is that if enough people in the world want to do good together and want to fix things around us, there's so much we can do. And I think that Amparo alluded to this, that I think we've had several years. I think some of us have had more than that. But I think certainly since COVID and before, that we've been, I think, living under this cloud of pessimism, of sadness, of aloneness, of all kinds of things like this, defeat. And I think if we can have simply one win, if we can show that many, many people around the world can do one good thing together on one day using all the technology, all the tools, all the ideas that we have, then we can do so much more. Let's just do one win, and then we'll go from there and do more a month later and more a month later, and just not stop until we're all, happier and sort of never. But I think the thing here is, like, let's prove, let's show how much we can do together, how creative we can get, how many ideas we have. And you mentioned things like riding a bicycle or crossing a bridge, but no, that day we can clean a park, we can clean a beach, we can feed people, we can do all kinds of wonderful things. Already fixing things, paint a mural, paint a wall, fix things as well, come up with ideas for bigger things, and show how much good there is in the world. And one last thing, I think is really important. So many people around the world right now are living in situations where we're divided from others, right? We're in a conflict, or we're all in different ways taught that those people are not good. Those people are not like us. Those people are different. And if we can show that, in fact, that is not true, if we can show that everywhere there are wonderful people, in addition to maybe those that are not so wonderful, but everywhere there are amazing people, that already would be a huge victory. On its own, just showing that everywhere there are people who share these values and want to do more good together. So Lynn, and thank you for that, Lynn, And then maybe we'll have the 4 people that we have right now, Lynn, Rose, Dana, and Hussam, and then we'll stop for now and say good night in an organized way. Just 1 second. Lynn, go for it. Matthew is doing a wonderful job. Lynn, you're on.
Got it. Thank you so much, Ami, for doing this. I need to tell you, I'm from Asheville, North Carolina, and I'm a presenter. So I go around and train around America and teachers who are working with kids with dyslexia. And I need to tell you the amount of loneliness I am seeing out there, at least in America today. People feel isolated. They feel alone. They feel like there's no one to speak to. It's amazing the number of people I run into that say they don't have at least one good friend to talk to. I so appreciate what's happening here because what this is doing, almost by, often it will happen by accident. We're going to get together, offer coffee to people, and all of a sudden someone who was thinking that maybe life isn't worth it is all of a sudden going to say, there are people around that are worth it. So I don't want to get too deep on this, but I want to say that I see this all the time, and this is exactly what we need. So thank you, Idealists, for stepping forward and doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. I'll
You're
come back in a second. Rose.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, hi, Ami. I just wanted to thank you for organizing this because, as you know, the human connection is important for the world, and doing good is love. And in today's community, we really lack
Oh,
that.
you're gonna make me cry. Okay, yes. Where are you, Rose?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay, thank you for that. Dana or Dana, you tell us.
Can you hear me? Well, first, thank you so much for doing this. It's an amazing opportunity. My question is about the meetups. So I like the idea of locally meeting people also based on interest, but I'm wondering, like, from countries, I'm from Jordan, and sorry for the dark setup, it's almost 1 a.m. here. So I'm wondering, so in cases of countries where there isn't much volunteers, will be there any efforts to kind of try to increase the numbers of volunteers in specific countries?
Yes, so just two answers to that, Dana, unfortunately, and salam alaikum, and thank you for being here with us. One is that we need to count on you also to reach out to people where you are. You know, you're there, we're here. We'll give you tools to do that. And the second is we're just getting started. We're going to work with associations. And one thing I forgot to tell you is that the email that went out to you last week went only to the individuals that use Idealist. We still haven't contacted the 100,000 NGOs that use the site. We're going to invite them to get involved and get the word out to all their people. But first, we wanted to be able to tell them that we're not crazy and that you are here. Now we can go to them and say, it's not just us, it's not just an idea. There are all these people who want to do good. And now let's go do it together. So we'll try to get you as many people as we can, Dana. Okay?
Thank you so much.
I want to be careful with time, but go ahead, Hussam and Dave, and then I think we'll stop. Or Candy. Let's see. If we're short, we can do more people. Go ahead, Hussam.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hussam. Thank you for pronouncing it correctly. I just want to say thank you for what you are doing, because there is a lot of people wanted to help, but they don't know how. With your hand or with your help, they will like find the way, and because everyone has his own way to help, and with you guys, they will find the way to help you, and it's like not just physically or mentally, they will help with whichever they can. And I want to thank you for everything, and what you're doing is a great work, because there is a lot of people out there. It's like they are hurting, they have no house, they have no food, and they just want to someone to talk to, just hear him, and they have a lot of problems, and they just want someone to listen to them, and you are doing well for listen to them and give them what they want. And thank you so much for
Thank you.
everything.
We'll hear David and Candy, and then we will respect everyone's time and close. David, go for it. And David, tell us where you are. 1 second. There you go. Oop. Can you speak, David?
All right. Thank you so much, Ami. I'm David. I'm from Livingstone, Zambia. And first of all, I'd like to say thank you for, giving us this wonderful opportunity, to have a place where we can gather and, foster the change we want to see. And, first of all, like I said, thank you so much for, bringing us together like this, because, this is going to really give great encouragement to many out there who are hoping to see a particular change. And will also, it's more like a call to action, because some have actually, wanted to be part of such initiatives, but I just never had, the push, the pat on the back to actually get started. So this is a great initiative. And, looking at, I'd like to say between 2024 and 2025, we had a project here in Livingstone that I was part of, where we actually went out there, looking for youths that we could actually empower with some sort of soft skills, just so that they can have a fighting chance out there, with how tough the economy is and all that. So, for me, that was also an eye opener, at even just having a conversation, how it can impact, greatly, someone who's facing a lot. So, this is so encouraging for me. And, thank you so much. Keep up the good work. And believe you me, we're with you.
No, I just want to get an airplane and go visit each of you, and it's annoying that I can't do it tomorrow. Candy, can you close us out? We can't see you, I think. I don't know if your video is on or off. Candy, are you there?
Hi, yes, the video is not working, but yes, I want to close out on such a strong note. I mean, when I saw your email about a global movement, I felt like it was Christmas morning. I fell off my chair because I've been having this vision for a global peace movement for a long time, and it all came together. And the fact that you're doing this is just absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to see how much better and bigger it even gets. So thank you.
What can we say after that? Thank you so much. There's two more things we want to do before we go. Tiny things. One is that my colleague Matthew likes to do this thing at the end of these things where we take one big photo. He'll explain what he means, and then we'll do one other fun thing. So Matthew, go for it.
All right, everyone. Well, just first, thank you. It's so wonderful to be here with you. And two, I've been loving seeing people using reactions. It's right next to the share button. If you push it, there are all sorts of fun things you can do, like make hearts come up, or you can send reactions to the room itself, which is very fun. I see people practicing it now, which I love. So yeah, if you want to be in the group picture, turn your camera on so that we can see you. And we're going to go ahead and do that in 10 seconds. So we'll give people time to turn on their cameras if they're ready. And then when I count down, as I'm counting down, you can start your reactions, and then we'll have a fun picture
We'll send you.
Okay, so we're going to take our picture in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Thank you all. I think we already achieved something today, and I think I can go home happy, and thank you for being here. We'll do one last crazy thing. Matthew is now going to turn on all of your mics. And so if you want to say good night, goodbye, good morning, hello, you can all talk at the same time, and we'll see what happens. Okay, you'll see in a second.
Right, feel free. You can unmute yourself if you
can
want
unmute yourselves. Everyone can unmute themselves, and we can hear everyone's voice.
Good
night.
Bye.
Thank
you.
Good night.
Good day. Good night.
Bye,
everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Night, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Luego. Feliz noche.
Hasta luego. Feliz noche.
Excited to be here. Excited to be present.
Night from Kenya.
Bye.
Usiku mwema kila mtu.
Good night.
Usiku mwema. Goodbye, goodbye, my friend. Goodbye.
Thank you all, guys. Thank you so much.